Is it everything you expected tonight? You talked about the emotion coming on this ice, the home ice, with everything you expected.
Yeah, it was fun. Truthfully, it was more than I expected. I can't believe the energy in the building and how loud it was. Reminded me of a playoff game, man. It was great. Get a big win there. It was great.
The power play was really working on all cylinders, it seemed like tonight. This team is really right.
Well, yeah, it's something we worked on a lot, and that's a game today. You have to capitalize on those chances. I mean, that's the difference in a lot of games with special teams, and really our penalty kill was just as good as our power play, and you need those special teams to be good.
Are you a guy that's content to just contribute, get on the board how you can? And tonight you score, you get some assists, you kind of just act as a catalyst out there.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm here for, right? I mean, we have some guys that are here to bang bodies and some guys that are here to make plays, and I mean, that's kind of what I'm supposed to do, kind of doing my job.
Yeah. How good does it feel to get that win?
Oh man, it was great. It was a big game for us. Obviously, we would have liked to get more out of the Finland trip, but to come home and get off on the right foot, that's very important for us. And if you're going to be a successful team, you have to be good at home, and this is a big step towards that.
Great. Thanks, man.
Yeah.
Our big launch is on, I think, most of the season here, and it's good to get those goals, our crucial goals at that time.
Matt Cullen was really kind of the catalyst for you guys tonight, whether it was assists or goals. Is this what you've been missing?
I think he definitely self-taught. He was flexible on the ice for us a little bit more, and I think when you saw it tonight, he could make some nice plays, and definitely gives us more depth up the middle behind Mikko.
What is it about Edmonton that you guys just see on them at home?
I don't know. It's hard. I guess it's hard to tell. Some teams you have a number of teams, vice versa. And, we seem to play well against them here in this building.
Man on the point in the power play. Puck really going.
Yeah, it always looks good when the puck goes in that. I think we made some good plays, and things went in. I don't know.
Probably won't stress it, still but to get that from
yeah, I think it's always a good feeling, and obviously home opener, you want to play good in front of your home fans, and it's not an easy game. I'm a little bit nervous always, and kind of pumped to go, but I think it was a solid game for us. Obviously, we had more discipline, stay out of the box, and PK was working good. But obviously, you don't want to be on PK too much.
I would assume it's not a coincidence that your power play works so well tonight. You guys come out with it.
I think we've had
some nights it's the puck's going in, some nights it's hard. And, I think we did good things. We shot the puck. We win the rebounds around the net, and we got some traffic there. So made it pretty simple, and tonight went in.
How much of a catalyst is Matt Cullen for the offense?
Good. He was a big difference, especially on PP there tonight, and he has a lot of experience. Has a good shot and been around the league a long time. So obviously,
it was great. I mean,
I think his confidence will even get better after this one, and I'm sure it was a tough one for him to play in front of his home fans and his home. So, but he had a great game.
Mikko, with the power play so far, it's been unbelievable the first three games. What's been going right on the power play?
Well, like I said, just trying to keep it simple. I mean, when we're shooting the puck and getting the rebounds and getting guys in front of the net, I mean, that's the way it goes sometimes. And, but it's just 3 games. But it's good. I mean, obviously when we score, you do some good plays, you get confidence, and it's easier to go all good that way.
The pass that Matt made to you, I mean, that was a pretty hard pass. He talked about your strength on that, being able to accept that puck and actually put it in on the court.
Well, I just kept my stick on the ice, and that's all I did.
I mean, the passing lane was pretty tiny there. It was a pretty good play by Matt.
Yeah, it was a great play. I mean, I kind of saw it, saw the lane there, and just hoping to get the puck at that point. And like I said, I just kept my stick on the ice, and he made the rest.
Thanks.
Well, it's definitely a good way to start off the 10th anniversary season here at home. I liked our first period. I thought we had some good energy from the get-go, and we're putting pucks behind their defensemen, and we had a good forecheck. Created some chances. I thought in the second, there was a bit of a lull for maybe the first 10-15 minutes of the period. We were standing around watching a lot of the period. And but our power play stepped up, and then the guys that you need had the opportunity, and that really switched the momentum around and got the crowd back into the game because it got really quiet there. And then I thought we managed and played a pretty decent third period, and we had great opportunities 5-on-5, just were unable to finish. But the difference of the game was the power play. Any questions?
Todd, after all the hype and the travel to Helsinki, it looked like a couple of your Finnish players were more comfortable playing here than they were over there. Koivu and Brunette.
Well, that's something to I asked them. I didn't see a big difference in their play. I will say this, that I know over there they probably felt a lot of pressure, and they're both have a tremendous amount of pride in how they play. And so it's a different scenario over there playing in front of their family and friends when they're rather than playing over here.
7 of your 8 goals this year already on the power play. What's going right?
I think Zidlitsky a couple times was looking to shoot. Mm-hmm. You look at Cullen's goal. I think he got credited for that goal. Yeah. Just a simple win the face-off, move to the middle and shoot. I think other things go unnoticed too. A guy like Andrew Brunette standing right out front, creating a lot of traffic and screens. So there are kind of those garbage goals, which was kind of like Mikko's, his second one, just creating a scrum. But our execution was very good. Versus Antti Miettinen being in the right spot to relieve pressure versus a team that really wants to pressure. But shooting the puck, having that shooting mentality, and doing a good job at the net.
What does Matt's ability at the point do for your power?
Well, in the zone, the shooting mentality. But I think where he's important is coming up the ice. He's a great skater, and he does a good job coming up the ice with speed, which can back teams off. So I think it's our execution coming up into the zone which allows us to play in the zone. Mm-hmm. But again, he's not afraid to pull the trigger, which is what you need on the back end. Show these teams that you're willing to put the puck at the net.
You talked about the pressure on Koivu and Miettinen over in Finland. Cullen didn't seem to show any signs of pressure tonight playing in front of his hometown.
No, he was very good tonight. I don't know stats-wise what he finished with, but there were a number of times from the bench you were like, oh, geez, who had that opportunity, or who made that play? And a lot of times you looked, and Seven was the one making the play or had the opportunity. So I thought he was very good for us tonight.
Lost in this game is the job that your PK did in the first period. You give up a couple goals there. Obviously, it's going to be a different game.
Yeah, it got ourselves into a hole with penalties, and the hard thing about penalties, especially in the first period, is momentum, and because I thought we were going pretty well 5-on-5, and those penalties really, it takes a lot out of your penalty killers, the guys that are penalty killing, but it takes the other guys out of the game that aren't necessarily penalty killers. I think one thing that's really good for us this year is just our depth at the forward position as far as penalty killers. We got probably 4 good sets of guys that you can put out at any given time, and the other thing that's so important about penalty killers is face-offs. Mm-hmm. And our centers again did a pretty good job tonight. It's so important, starting with the puck on the power play, and getting back to your question on the power play. It helps when you win a draw in the offensive zone because you start with the puck. And I think 2 of our goals were the result of a one face-off.
Seems like specialty teams are really the decider in a lot of games these days.
Yeah, this is in the American League. I kept track one year. I just wanted to see what the difference would be between teams that win that game within the game, the specialty game. So if you score 4 goals like we did tonight, and I think they scored 1, we won that game, and it was about 75% of the games. If you win that game, you end up on the positive end of the game.
In terms of just staying in position and making good decisions, is that one of the best 60-minute efforts you've seen?
I think we've had better. As far as, are you talking this year or my 2 years here, or my year and 3 games?
This year so far. Control.
We're under. You know what? We have been focusing on D-zone coverage and defensive responsibilities, and guys have really been paying attention to the details, and have been committed to that. I thought our second game over in Finland was, for you guys that were there, I thought it was a very good game over there. You're going to have lapses. You're going to give up opportunities. But I think that was probably our best effort so far of the year. Was our second game over in Finland. I don't want to take anything away from the guys tonight because they worked hard and we found a way to win the game. But there's still some areas we have to get better at.
You wouldn't characterize that as playing a little more conservatively tonight?
You know what? I thought it was smart hockey. I really did. I even made the comment to Rick Wilson on the walking off after I think the second period, just about there was a couple times I thought our defensemen could go down the wall in the offensive zone, and they didn't, just because I think they made the right read. We didn't have anybody coming across, and I still think there was no danger there, but I liked their thinking and how they approached it, and looking and seeing, I don't have support here, so I'm just going to stay back. So from that standpoint, it's good that the defensemen and players are starting to recognize that.
Anything else for Todd? Thank you.
Thanks.